Okay, we're back, regular viewers. Thank you so much for all the support here. We're still trying to reach our goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you're not subscribed and you are mildly entertained or distracted by the door being shut really loud over there or by our videos, please feel free to hit that subscribe button at any point during this video. We don't charge for that any longer. So this week we're going to talk about push poles. This is not a push pole. This is a duck foot from a push pole. Just came off my old push pole, and I need to make a new one. The old push pole I used was this is not going to be easy for this shot, but this piece of aluminum push pole over here. This was a one of those paint roller extension pieces. And it came out, you know, pretty decent amount. I put a line, an idiot line on there, so I would know when to stop pulling it out. But this just, it worked a little bit, but it is not a suitable push pole. I like that it was collapsible and would fit in my boat all right. But I had to make this collar here out of surplus aluminum that I had, because this didn't fit over that, or in it, or whatever. It was the exact same diameter. But anyway, this push pole was garbage. And now it's time for it to move on. So first step in making a new push pole is finding an adequate replacement. And I did that at work, and I'll show you a picture of that here. And then once you've done that, then you need to obtain permission from your boss to snag something out of the trash. And I did send him a message, and Dear Sir, I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to know if you would like me to remove this orange pole from your property, as it currently resides next to the dumpster, and it has been there for quite some time. I could assist you in this endeavor and reappropriate it as a push pole on my bass boat. Highest regards, the regular guy. Send. Here was his reply. Oh, look, an email. Oh, it's from my boss. Let me read that. Dear regular guy, I can't believe you still work here. Remind me to do something about that on my... You know what? I'll read this on my own. But thank you. I'll take care of this. So now that we have our nice fiberglass push pole, put it down on the floor there, bud. Nice and quiet like that. So we've got this nice fiberglass push pole here. Exciting camera work. And it has a threaded end on it here. It has a threaded end on it, but my... Can you hold that, please?
Yes, sir.
My duck's foot does not fit over this threaded end. Watch for the rag pile over here. So these are future rags over here. But it does fit on here nicely. So what we need to do is we need to use our new drill press, and we are going to drill some holes in this. And I did spend some money and actually buy some new hardware for this project, because the old stuff was not stainless steel and it rusted right off. For this project, I purchased a little bit of stainless steel hardware here. Quarter 20 little bolt and some stainless steel nuts with the nylock on them so that they'll hold in place here. And I didn't notice till I got home that this one had already been adulterated, so I guess somebody had to try those out to see if they were actually that size right there. Also funny to me that this used to be 4 pieces and now it is 3 pieces there. So just a little entertainment for you. Okay, so the tools we're going to need for this process right here. I got my hammer and my center punch. I have drill bits, and I have my used motor oil to lubricate the drill. And we're going to bring this guy over here. So I put this foot on, and I marked out with my marker where the holes need to be drilled in it. Turn it 90 degrees. Okay. Oops, where is it? It's on this side. And there's the other one. So we need to center punch this guy, and we'll be right back. And I'm going to get some help for... Yep, that's the dog. So I need some help for this next part filming here, but while I'm waiting for that help to arrive, I just wanted to go over some more bonus bait footage here. This is more of a lure making autopsy, and apparently my dog has a lot to say about it. This is a crankbait that I made a couple years ago. This pretty big one. It was nice. It had a, I don't know if you can hear that, it had a nice low tone rattle in it. But in my haste making this bait, I failed to seal it properly. I didn't give the final carving like a dip in the old, what's that stuff called?
Epoxy.
No, the polyurethane. There we go. So I did paint it, spray paint it though. And actually, I'm sorry, I didn't spray paint it or anything like that. So this bait wasn't sealed at all. I just covered it in aluminum foil tape so it would have a nice shine on it. And then I epoxied over it. Well, apparently it was porous and water got in it because it started to split right here, as you can see. So it split up here and it started to split down here. So the tip is very important to, I can say all these seams actually, it started to split. It's very important to seal the wood before you do anything else to it. So, or else your lure will be done for. This one here was properly sealed, but the epoxy coat on it, I used this bait an awful lot. The epoxy coat on it seemed to have wore off. This piece of foil started to come off. So I'm going to have to glue that back on, and I'm going to re-epoxy this because I really like this lure and I want to give it another chance at life. It's done really well for me, so that's where we're at with that. But just in the nick of time, my help has arrived, so we're going to get set up for drilling our holes for our push pole here. So in our new push pole measures right in at 10 feet, well, not counting the mezzanine there. So it's going to be just a little bit more than 10 foot with the duck foot on it. So that's going to give us a much nicer reach than we had before. Super excited about that. So let's get it on a drill press and we'll get going. Okay, so we're going to have to step up this process as we go. So I get this first drill bit in and make sure the key is out of the way so I don't get hurt. Okay, good. That's working nice. So we're going to get this centered under here as best we can, and we're going to bring it the rest of the way in with the vise. I have my regular assistant down the other end holding up the other side of this 10-foot pole. Okay, bring this down this way and ever so slightly that way. Okay, now let me get my oil. We'll turn this on and let's see if we can ruin this. I mean, make it work better. All right, so we got all, we'll make sure we spread this mess all throughout the shop, so that way it's better for everybody. But we got our holes drilled. With any kind of luck, it's going to line up. Oh, good, about 50% accuracy. So we may have to hone out this guy a little bit. Looks like it walked on us a little bit, but those fit perfectly, so there we go. Oops. If I was any kind of a professional, and you probably know better than that by now, I would have had my wrench ready, at the ready for this. But we just want to hold it in place for now. There we go. Okay. So now we can see how far off that hole actually was. So we're going to have to hone out this side and that side just ever so slightly. So let's bring this back over to here. If my regular assistant can make it. You doing okay down there, buddy?
Not so much.
Not so much?
Not so pleasant.
Not so pleasant, huh?
No.
Okay, let's try this. What are we on, third time's a charm situation now?
It's more like 6.
Sixth time's a charm? Like a glove.
Perfect.
How easy was that? Okay. We wouldn't want to damage the threads there. Make sure we clean that guy off for sure. There we go. I'll tighten this one up again. Make sure this guy's good and tight. Hello. Beautiful. And it's just that easy to make a push pull. Any questions? Okay, so we're all done. We've got our bolts mounted. Nice stainless steel this time, so I won't have to drill it out like I did on the last one. And our little duck foot piece, fits on there real nice, and it's very solid. So all in all, very excited about this. Now I got a nice new 10-foot push pole from a bass boat. Okay, regular viewers, and on the topic of boat improvements, I recently acquired a Humminbird Helix 5, which I know is not super duper, what are you worried about? Super duper exciting, fancy top of the line depth finder, but it is way better than what I had, and it does everything I want. This is just a regular depth finder, not anything fancy. But what it does that's really cool, as I'm sure most people know, is you can, I'm just very excited that it has maps of the local area and tracks my movement, and I can make waypoints. And that's pretty much what I'm extremely excited about. The depth finder has down scan and you know, the regular scan, whatever you call that. But anyway, so that is a huge blessing, a huge help to my fishing here. Like I said, this isn't like live scope or 3D scan or anything exciting like that. But it the price was right and the opportunity was there. This was a gift, so that's the best price right there, and it's an improvement over over what I had. But if you know how to use this technology, heck, guys, you can locate fish with a Humminbird, the old school. If you remember the old school flasher there, if you know what you're doing with that. I think that Retro Bassin guy does that. But anyway, I was going to show you. I had to take this part off the boat here to mount it, and I was going to show you the fun I discovered. I have some pictures we're going to show you right now of what was under here. This is a used boat. It's a regular used boat. It's not a huge boat, but it fits and it gets me out on the water, and that's all that matters. I also put on this when I put on the transducer here. I had this piece of aluminum corrugated, or not corrugated, but it had already holes drilled in it. And what was nice is I was able to adjust this around without having to drill more holes in the boat. I was able to mount this plate to where the old transducer was, which is under here, which I can't show you, I guess, from this shot, but it was nice because this gave me the option to adjust it side to side and then up and down a little bit, so I didn't have to drill more holes. So that was pretty cool. So from those pictures I showed you, these are the wires that I removed here, and I was able to rewire that. This was my kill switch wire, and as you can see, there really wasn't much left of it, and it was right next to, this is the wire that went to the trim and tilt switch, which apparently some mouse thought was appetizing as well. And these two guys were devastatingly close to each other. I am super happy that somehow I was protected and they did not touch each other and start a little fire in my regular boat. So used boats, guys, we got to be careful with that kind of stuff. The guy I bought the boat from promises me it was never stored outside and it was always in a garage, but you know, there can still be mice hiding in your boat, I guess. So there was a mouse house under the console that I vacuumed out, and like I said, you know, this is This is some pretty amazing wiring. Had no clue electronically that anything was going on. Trim and tilt worked perfectly, and this was the kill switch, like I said, and the kill switch worked perfectly. So, who knew? Anyway, thank you for tuning in this week to this regular video where we did some boat maintenance. So, all right. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Anything like that. I do appreciate everybody's support. We're almost to 500 subscribers today, and 20 more, and we'll make that goal by the end of the year. So I appreciate your support. You stay regular.
Don't forget.
Hey, what are you kids doing?